Hey there, Otaku! Welcome back to another episode of Go Mega Otaku Gamer Alpha. I'm your Mega Otaku Gamer. I am Ken-chan. And today we're going to talk about a system that came out in the 80s. It had its own screen built in. That's right, you carried it around. It kind of looked like a TV you were carrying around, except the screen was taller than it was wide. Kind of like the screens you found in arcade machines at the time. That's right, I'm talking about the GCE Vectrex. Okay, and this is the GCE Vectrex right here. This is the fabulous controller that they have for the system. And this is the screen. It's built in. Notice that it is taller than it is wide. And it takes these cartridges here, and they slide into, there's a slot right here. They slide right into there. And you play them thusly. Okay, and we have a couple of those. And there's also a game built into the unit itself. Now, the Vectrex is a vector display video game console that was developed by Western Technologies and Smith Engineering. It was licensed and distributed first by General Consumer Electric, GCE, and then later by Milton Bradley, everybody's favorite. Milton Bradley, of course, purchased General Consumer Electric, or GCE. It is considered a second-generation console. Its retail availability, it was available in November of 1982 in North America. In Europe, it was available in 1983. In Japan, 1983. It had a CPU, it was a Motorola MC68A09 at 1.5 megahertz. And it had two controller inputs. And, of course, when I say vector graphics, I mean something that can't really be done on your standard CR television. The vector graphics, of course, you need a special kind of screen to do that, hence the built-in television to the console. This is not something that you can plug in to a regular television and get the kind of sharp, crispy graphics that you only get with this kind of screen. Okay, now we're going to take a look at this, and we're going to start by looking at the controller here. Okay, you have your stick here, a fully functional, analog joystick. 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons on there. Okay, we're going to set this. We're not even going to put a cartridge in here. It's got its built-in game we're going to look at first. So we just switch this on. It's got a knob that you turn, just like the old CRT televisions did. Whoa! Yeah. Here we go. This looks kind of like Asteroids. It's called Mindstorm. Came out in 1982. Wow, look at that. Ooh, that's loud. Maybe we'll turn that down just a smidge, huh? How about it, Otaku? I don't need that loud crap. Oop. I'm neglecting the other buttons. Oh, but you see that this is absolutely an Asteroids ripoff, if there ever was one. Oh, there's the warp. Alright, here's a little cosmic chasm for you. This takes a little bit of time here, this one. I don't know if it's like a loading thing or something, but this looks kind of like Omega Race, although they did have an Omega Race for this, I'm pretty sure. See, that thing in the middle is growing quickly. I think the only way out is through the one that's open. Long load time. Where am I now? Oh, I'm down at the other end. I'm down here. Okay. The burst sound there sounds a little bit like the burst sound of on Berserk for the Atari 2600. Wow. Yeah, this load time stuff in between here, in between the challenges, is really a little too long for my taste. Get out of there before that thing grows, and you get the idea of Cosmic Chasm. And here we have some Star Trek the game. This came out at the time that Star Trek the motion picture came out. Or shortly thereafter, obviously. I think Star Trek the motion picture came out in '79. This would have been, whatever, 83 maybe, or 82. And here you have like come the Romulans or Klingons or whatever the hell they are. Oh, but it's like a first-person perspective thing. Not bad. Ready, Captain. Ooh, yeah. Where you at? Come on. Ooh, I took one on the chin. Ready, Captain. Oh, look at that, look at that. Oh, there goes that. I'm out of ships. Anyway, this is a really, a really awesome game for this system, in that it shows like a different kind of perspective, a first-person kind of perspective. And it handles very well too, surprisingly, even though I'm not doing that well at it. It still does actually handle quite well. Any of you older otaku will remember this game from the 80s. If you went to the arcades in the 80s, of course it didn't look like this. It wasn't a vector graphics game. Yep, it's Scramble. Got your lasers there, and here's your bombs! Oh, boo! Oh, wow. Oh, did it. Oh, yeah. yes. Now, this system here is actually quite portable as well. This controller here, the shape of it, it's actually the front of the machine. If you attach it, and you get this cable out of the way, there's a little trick to it maybe, but you can close the thing like so. There's a handle on the back of it, up here, the handle back here, and you can actually lift the thing up, and the entire thing itself is just a carry-along unit. Maybe a little heavy, not really all that heavy, not as heavy as a television. Maybe about the same weight as one of those old, one of those old Macintosh computers or something like that. But all in all, quite portable. You can just take it anywhere and plug it into the wall, and boom, you're gaming. Now, the Vectrex also came with a lot of the games. It would come with plastic overlay for the screen, because the screen was monochrome, and the plastic overlay would supply color, similar to what a lot of the old Vectrex arcade games did. If you look at the original Asteroids, there's no color there. If you look, however, at Asteroid Deluxe, you will see color, and that's because there's a screen overlay on the arcade machine to give it the illusion of color. And they had a similar arrangement for the Vectrex. They had the plastic overlays for the different games. Unfortunately, I'm not in possession of any of those right now. But those are a little harder to come across, as they were plastic, and they get old and they get ratty and they fall to pieces very quickly. However, the games are still out there. They still, actually, as recently as, I believe, 2007, there was a game actually made for the Vectrex, a new game called Vectrexians. It looks like Galaxian, but it's Vectrexians it's called, and it even sounds like Galaxians. It makes the same kind of noises, and I think they probably just sampled those sounds and put it on the cart. But there's a lot of homebrew activity for the Vectrex. If you look around, you have to look. I haven't fallen into any of that yet. When I was at the Too Many Games convention, I looked there for any of that, and of course I couldn't find anything there. But that's the kind of place you want to look for something like that. If you're not going to find it there, there's eBay. As far as how rare these things are, the sales, the lifetime sales, I'm sorry, Otaku, I'm not able to find any sales figures for this unit. Which leads me to believe that it's probably less than 1 million units that they sold of this. It's probably in the hundreds of thousands. It was only available for roughly 2 years, so it couldn't have done that well. It came out at a bad time when everything else was dying. You know, when the Atari 2600 was dragging everything down the toilet. This unit's coming out, and it's just not catching on with anyone. So it was discontinued, and as a result, it's quite rare. Rare doesn't always mean expensive. Again, at the Too Many Games convention, I saw 3 of them at all 3 of them were at different vendors, and they all had the same price, a price of $50. It's the GCE Vectrex, Vector Graphics System, Vector Display, rare system, interesting piece for your collection.